Good afternoon. I am Joe Honk, and the coaching carousel's making some news. Who is going to be the brand new head coach for Notre Dame? It is not going to be Urban Meyer, according to quote-unquote anonymous sources that talked to the AP, that said that the coach is very committed to the Jacksonville Jaguars and has no plans to return to college football. It will also not be Mark Stoops, as he has agreed to a contract extension that runs through June 2028 with some variables in it that could actually add more years to the contract. And make sure that you're paying attention to the transfer portal. Kentucky just added running back Travis Tisdale has jumped into the transfer portal. Vanderbilt has already had 3 players: safety Brandon Harris, cornerback Gabe Judy Lolly, as well as wide receiver Cam Johnson. And for all your foundation repair and all of your waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. We are on the air. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. We'll do our best to make it worse or better. I don't know.
Better.
We'll define that later. Hey, Don.
Better on this Tuesday. Hi, guys.
Hey, Babsy.
Happy Tuesday.
Why are you standing up?
I don't know. I'm jacked.
Sit.
No, I'm not sitting.
You've been drinking Mountain Dew or something?
I'm all hocked up on Mountain Dew.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus, or as our brothers to the south call you, Jesus.
I was wondering, I was like,
How quick was that?
I thought he was.
Who are
saying that. I
you?
was like, man, you got that down.
I'm jacked up, Dawn.
I know, apparently. Yeah.
I
You know what I have? I got double bubble in my veins.
Listen to her.
Double bubble.
Sometimes she comes in all pissed off for greatness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other times she's standing over there eating double bubble.
And pumped up.
Yeah. I know who else is pumped up. Ron Slade!
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
I blame the Seahawks
I'm in the building.
for the Parsley loss last night.
Yes, indeed. All we will need is Russell to show up.
Russell Wilson has the worst third down completion percentage since, this is where you need to know the rest of the stat. But it's since 2008. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Russell should have just stayed. Stayed out, dog.
details.
Just get all the way healthy. Because your
What?
finger
I was
can't
going
be
to
right.
say, God, why are you hating on the guy?
No, I'm
He's
not.
came back in a record amount of time. It was like Jesus healed him and
Little
he
baby
made
Jesus?
it back. Yeah.
Guess what I'm going to do?
He
Bet
prayed
against
to
him next week.
He prayed to little baby Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going to bet against him next week. Let me see what he do. 3HL is presented by
Who,
Ryan
Ron?
Kelly
Oh, yeah.
and the Home Loan Expert.com.
Man, you went with a little sultry
You feel me?
turn there.
Put a little,
I don't like that.
.com. You didn't like it, Babs?
No.
3HL presented by Ryan Kelly and the Home Loan Expert.com.
Thank
There we
you.
go.
That's
You're
better.
welcome.
Hey, by the way, if you're on Zone TV, you understand that this is true. Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Dawn's shirt matches her water bottle.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Well done. Does that mean you have 5 different colors of water bottle?
No. No, that would be a waste of money because you guys know how great of a job I do at utilizing my water bottle anyway.
Big news coming down.
According to it at 7 a.m.
As we speak, and Mike Organ let us all in on it yesterday, but Fairground Speedway will have a NASCAR race every year. So Nashville has gone from 1984 to now without a NASCAR Cup Series race. We've had other kinds of
ridiculous.
races.
It's unfair.
And now we'll have 2 on 2 different tracks every year.
What?
That's awesome. So you got the Super Speedway, you got the Fairground Speedway. By the way, the Fairground Speedway, second oldest continually running speedway in America.
Whoa.
Since 1900 whatever.
How many times have we said NASCAR needs to go back to their roots, stick to their roots, go, they took all these races and moved them out of places where the sport was so popular. Nashville is one of them.
Agreed. So, and here's the thing. So,
It's good to have it back.
We may have a guest or two. We don't know who or when, but we'll be glad to talk about racing at the Fairground Speedway as we roll through. Big story obviously came down after we left the air yesterday, and I remember saying toward the end of the show, I really can't see Brian Kelly in Baton Rouge just as a fit because he's from Massachusetts, spent time in Michigan, spent time at Cincinnati, obviously Notre Dame. I think, look, he could win 3 national titles, and I really think that's a home run hire for LSU for sure. I think the guy can coach. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think after a couple of days, he's going to be like, what is this place?
Yeah, he should be.
And all y'all know it. If you have friends that are from Baton Rouge or Louisiana or whatever, it's just not a bad thing. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. It's just that's a different world down there.
That is a different world.
Texas, different world. And oddly, Texas and Louisiana can't stand each other. It's kind of like Nashville and Memphis.
Especially where you're coming from. Like, he's coming from up north. Like, you're going to jump down south? Listen.
Up north.
But I said, I can't see it happening.
East Coast.
But watch it happen. And, sure enough. So John Bryce was the first one to throw that out there yesterday, and he hopped on with Blaine and Mickey with footballscoop.com, and they talked about the possibility of this going down, and it did. So Notre Dame athletic director Jack Swarbrick said today that no interim head coach. So we'll see how they deal with maybe playing in a college football playoff with no coach.
They have a chance. They still have a chance.
Legit.
A legit chance. Like it's not like they need something crazy to happen to end up in the top 4. Not at all. Cincinnati loses, and
they're a 10-point favorite. But yeah, and Cincinnati, honestly, they've been really up and down.
Right.
Too. I know they've been winning, which is the bottom line, but their strength of schedule is 93 in the country out of 130. So you're right, anything's possible.
Yeah.
But what if Georgia beats Alabama?
Peace.
Then Alabama's out of it.
What if?
You mean win?
I'm all in on that.
Yeah.
That's the
choke them out.
I want to say it's like
the
the biggest line in the SEC championship, I think, in a while or something.
It probably is.
Or maybe it's the first time a team that isn't Alabama is favored.
Before Alabama, Auburn, it was 4.5.
Yeah.
Now
what is it, 6.5?
Yeah, trending toward 7, so we'll see what's going on there. Laura on YouTube writes, hey, beautiful afternoon in Smyrna.
Hey.
Hunk's got to come fix the camera again.
Ooh, look, what's wrong with you in the camera?
Dude, I can't see Babs because I got to turn the light on because I got a black hat on and I'm dark skinned. Yes, exactly. And then I got to see through Babs. I mean, not through Babs, but see through the light to see Babs, and I can't see it. It's too much going on over here.
Did you fix it, Hunk?
But now I can see Babs.
Okay.
It's like we had the plate up, the glass COVID plate thing again.
Her skin tone is close to her shirt, too, so that leads to some confusion.
Hunk, that's not right.
Am I that white?
Dude, your shirt's not white. Babs. All right, where were we? Brian Kelly reached out to Notre Dame defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman in an effort to bring him to Baton Rouge. So all that does is put Notre Dame on the clock. Like, if they want to hire that guy, you better do it quick.
Can I just say this? This is all the NCAA's fault.
Yes.
This is all their fault for adding this stupid early signing day because, it's 2 weeks away. So if you're talking about elite big-time jobs, you don't have a choice but to make a push and put an ultimatum in front of these coaches. Hey, look, if you don't take it now, we're moving on. We can't wait. We're not going to wait for you.
You're totally
now,
right.
supposedly reports out there are that Notre Dame is willing to wait for Luke Fickell after whatever happens with Cincinnati. But I feel like Luke Fickell is also in a different spot to where he's okay whether he stays or goes.
Regardless, yep.
Should I stay or should I go now? What about Herb saying, I'm not going to Notre Dame, I'm staying at Jacksonville?
I don't believe anything.
You weren't
that
going to
guy
Notre
says.
Dame anyway. Remember that video?
Man, guess what Notre
They ain't
Dame
hiring
did?
you.
They should have put out something and said, guess what? We know.
You right.
Just like that.
Hashtag Herb's right.
Yeah,
He ain't coming.
Okay.
He ain't coming.
Babs, you're
But
totally right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I hate it. I think it screws the kids because then they're and Ron, you might have a different take on it, but I played a different sport, right? Mm-hmm. So when I was looking it's not like I was looking to go pro one day in my sport, right? I knew I was done at college And so I wanted to play somewhere where I loved the school. I wanted to go to school there. I wanted to be there. It wasn't about what they did offensively. It wasn't about the coach.
Right.
And I understand. I'm not dumb. I understand that different sports are different. But like I always think if you're a recruit, you better fall in love with the place that you're going to play too. Yep. On top of it, right? And then if it's not a great fit with what they do schematically, then you make a different decision. I get that. But you're screwing these kids because now you're forcing them with an early signing period to possibly commit to a place that you don't know who your coach is going to be yet, or it's in the middle of a coaching change and you're already leaning that way, but then it's not going to I hate the early signing period. I hate it because that's what we get. That's why we got this whole Brian Kelly debacle. That's why we got the whole Lincoln Riley debacle before he even knew if they were going to play for a conference championship.
Right. On that level, anybody in sales will tell you this. Like, I'm not buying, widget X because it's widget X. I'm buying you. You're my relationship. I'm buying you, right? Like, because I could buy widget X from anybody. So these kids, like, everybody romanticizes with, or sometimes you hear this argument like, oh, go to the school because you love the University of Tennessee. They're going to the school because that coach sold them on him. That's the reality of the situation.
I'm also saying you better love the place that you're going, though.
You need to get to that point for sure. Or, now with the transfer portal, you get one. So, use that. And, I had a high school coach say not too long ago, like, look, you're not making a decision at this point. The way everything is set up, you're not making a decision for the rest of your life. You're making a decision for 1 year.
You're actually never making a decision for the rest of your life.
But
really.
But isn't that kind of sad though? Like, that's where we are, because like when we were kids, it was what you just said. It was like you want to go. Like I would have, I wanted to go to the school I wanted to go to for me it was Tennessee, obviously, but for you, it was Auburn, and it was so much different. Now it's for opportunity this season, and what does the depth chart look like, and all of those things. But that's why I think the head coach is the lead guy there, and that's why kids go to where they go. You had a coaching change, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Brian Kelly last weekend had some interesting things to say, and it's funny, whenever coaches move, you go back to like the last few things that they said, and they all say things like this.
Other than retiring from your current profession, could you see yourself leaving Notre Dame of your own volition?
No. I mean, look, I think Mike Tomlin had the best line, right? Unless that fairy godmother comes by with that, $250 million check, my wife would want to take a look at it first.
Fairy godmother or booster.
I'd have to run it by her.
Which is what Tomlin said.
Fairy godmother was wearing purple.
Yeah. How about $95 million?
Hey, man,
just don't. How have coaches not learned to just shut their mouth?
Dude, just exactly. Do like who was it? That said they wasn't commenting.
Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, do like he did. Like
you say what Josh Heupel said. You say, I love it here. Because that's the truth of the situation. But if somebody's willing to pay you $125 million or whatever, like, of course you're going to go.
But if you say
so
that,
I told
my
kids were like, why are these coaches jumping? I'm like, this is a good life lesson for you. Always follow the money. Because most people do it, and I always use the Scarface line, like, men make decisions based on women or money, and maybe not in that order.
I dropped that line on Saturday, actually.
Yes, it's pretty simple. Like, we're simplistic people. But most of these dudes, they're like type A guy, looking out for number one guy, and they're bolting for money. Like, you just follow the money.
And I'm gonna tell you some of the best advice that I ever got from Randolph Childress.
I love
vet,
that dude.
OG. He told me, and I didn't take the advice until after, and then I understood exactly what he was talking about.
Watch the crossover on McGinnis.
That was it. He told me, listen, man, majority of the time when you're negotiating, and it may be a little, unless it's something outstanding like $1 million difference or $900,000 difference, dude, take less money to stay comfortable. Because you can't perform when it's a lot of heat, a lot of pressure, and you're not comfortable in that situation. If you're comfortable, all those bonuses and everything gonna kick in and it's gonna take care of itself, and you'll have more longevity. So,
well, he's gonna have heat. Hey, no doubt. All right, when we come back, we'll start to dive into some of the championship games from a betting perspective.
Uh-oh.
Also, Who's most likely to be the next
Wyatt.
coach at Notre Dame? Who's most likely to be the next coach at Oklahoma? Allan Bell, sportsline.com next on 104.5 The Zone. Hard to believe the holiday season is here, as Babs kept pointing out yesterday. December is here, and you need to get up on it. And you know what I mean by that. Your gifting responsibilities coming up quickly. Brentwood Jewelry. My friends at Brentwood Jewelry can help you. All you need to do is simply go to Brentwood Jewelry, walk in the door, and just start talking. Let those guys know who you are. They want to see you. They want to get to know you. They want to get that relationship going where they know how to help you each and every time you walk in with your gifting responsibilities. And that's what's going to happen. We all know Christmas, a popular time to propose. It's also time for giving to those that you love. Brentwood Jewelry can give you the experience that you want, like a surprise gift of that dream ring that she's always wanted at a price that you can afford. Maybe you're looking for something custom and unique. Consult with their custom design team or choose from their selection of fine jewelry, watches, or engagement rings. Or bring in that priceless heirloom, and you can have them transform that into the special gift that your special person can wear every day. Just go see my friends at Brentwood Jewelry, 7012 Church Street, in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day. For more than 50 years, visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
What's up, people? Ron Slay here. Let me talk to you about Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. You need to tap into this. You want to refi your home? Mortgage interest rates are still sitting at all-time lows, but they are starting to tick up. So if you've been sitting on the fence to get refi, or if you haven't gotten your pre-approved home loan locked in, now is the time. Quit waiting for a lower rate, as they won't stick around much longer. Interest rates are still sitting in the low 2%, which means by refinancing your 30-year mortgage, the Home Loan Expert can save you hundreds of dollars a month. Did you hear that? Hundreds of dollars a month. Maybe you might can get some thousands, I'm going to tell you. And you about to go into the holiday season, so people, tap into Ryan Kelly and the Home Loan Expert. Get the 5-minute loan approval only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. I'm going to say it one more time. Get the 5-minute loan approval only available at the HomeLoanExpert.com. Holler at Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com, people.
Should I stay or should I go now? 3HL 1045 The Zone. That's a crazy business, college football coach. They can do whatever the heck they want, man.
Tough.
Talk about the only business where you're not held to a contract. It's like if Cliff Kingsbury wanted to take the Oklahoma job, he would have to get permission from Arizona. They don't let you out of contracts in the NFL. Unless they choose to do it. But you can't just leave like in college football.
No, you can't.
Certainly can't do that in radio. Can't
or
do
TV.
it in TV.
Nope.
You can't do it in any business.
Crazy.
This is what, and we'll get to AB in a second. AB, hang with me. This is what Coach Kelly sent the team last night, Brian Kelly. Man. No, not man. Let me start again. Men. Let me first apologize for the late night text, and more importantly, for not being able to share the news with you in person that I will be leaving Notre Dame. I am flying back to South Bend tonight to be able to meet with you in the morning, but the news broke late today, and I'm sorry you found out through social media or news reports. I will have more to share when we meet tomorrow at 7 a.m.
What?
Slay and I both, we were talking about this before the show. Number one, you're not my boss anymore. Number two, 7 a.m. Can't we do it at 9?
Yeah. Don't bring me in
what?
now that you're trying to make up time and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you, man, your work cut out. Like the AD for Notre Dame said he went and met with the players and talked to them, and they understand where the program is headed. Man, listen, whether the coach is fired or he left, I'm sitting there in that meeting just like this, looking at him like, hey man, what you gonna do? Looking at my teammate, what you gonna do?
I'll tell you another thing. If I'm an LSU player, I'm looking at this going, if I didn't know before that all of this is about money, I'm telling
you, man, it's different.
Okay, you guys do remember Brian Kelly basically has done the same thing at every single job he's been at, by the way. He did it at Cincinnati to go to Notre Dame. He did it before that, where was he? Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Like this is the normal for that guy.
Yeah, I'm not even tripping on that. I'm tripping on I'm looking at it from the perspective of what the players are going to be sitting there thinking.
Right, and we'll get to we'll illustrate that and more vibrantly in just a second. He continues, but for now, just know this is like out of a line out of one of these movies that I like to watch that Babs makes fun of me for liking to watch. Just know that my love for you is limitless.
Wait, that was I never made it to the end of the text, apparently.
Yeah. Just know that my love for you is limitless, and I am so proud of all that you have accomplished. Our program is elite.
Because of you, yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Again, my sincere apologies
I
for
missed
not being
the
able
love
to.
is limitless. My love is limitless, except for when it comes to a
Bankroll.
crap ton of money to go to LSU.
Yes, and
but
I can
other
only,
than that,
I can only get to the college football playoff with you guys. I can't get over the hump with you guys because we get blasted with you guys. So I'm going to go somewhere where I can get more players. My love for you is limitless.
Hey, boy, that's special.
All right, Here's Pete Sampson, who covers Notre Dame. Multiple sources indicated that Brian Kelly's address to the team on Tuesday morning lasted less than 2 minutes. He turned around, walked out, did not take questions from players.
Oh, I read ESPN reported it was 11 minutes.
Okay, well.
Regardless.
Pete Sampson, Notre Dame beat writer for The Athletic College Football. He said it lasted 2 minutes. He turned around, didn't take questions from players.
I mean, it doesn't matter either way. If you're getting me up at 7 a.m., you sure as heck better talk to me for longer than 11 minutes. Or let me ask questions.
Exactly. I'm with that, Babs. Yeah, this need to be long.
Allan Bell is up at all times. Like Allan Bell, you could have a meeting for 4:30 in the morning, he'll be there. You could have it at 1 in the morning, he'll be there. You can have it 7 in the morning. I know this, Allan Bell, because I see your tweets all through my timeline at every minute of the day.
Well, you're exactly right. Let me say this. If it's 7 a.m., we haven't gone to sleep yet. So let's just be clear on that one. So we didn't have to get up. Now, let me also say, all right, in regards to this Brian Kelly thing, because it is hard. There's really not a lot of good ways to do it. This is horrible, and there's zero chance I would have been there at 7 a.m. But how do you feel if you're a Florida fan right now where you see your coach, Billy Napier, who told his Louisiana team that said, we have App State, we have one more game on the schedule that I know of, and I'm not letting any of you go out with a loss without me. I'm staying, I'm coaching this game, and we're handling business. Florida's got to feel good. That's a good way to go out, man.
Boy, I've heard really good things about Billy Napier for a long time. Yep. I think that's a really good hire by Florida. Now, it's not splashy and getting the headlines like a couple of these others. Speaking of odds for Notre Dame coaching candidates, what do you got there?
Yeah, so, you take a look at the list, and Marcus Freeman, who's on staff right now, he is at even. He is your favorite to get it. Luke Fickell, second at plus 200. Matt Campbell, third at plus 500. Tell you what, go ahead and stop the list right there. It's going to be one of those three guys. I would be surprised if it's not Fickell or Campbell, and if it's not, Marcus Freeman will be their guy. So it's going to be one of those three. They're going to go after Luke Fickell, Matt Campbell. Probably, I think Fickell is the guy that they're looking at right now, see if they can get him out of Cincinnati. But it's going to be Marcus Freeman, Fickell, or Campbell.
Let's go over to Oklahoma. Another big opening. What do you think about that job, AB?
Yeah, now Oklahoma is a little more interesting because Brent Venables, the DC at Clemson, is the favorite at plus 400. Then you got guys like Lane Kiffin, Mark Stoops, who's on that list. Obviously, he's staying at Kentucky. Matt Campbell as well, Luke Fickell, Jay Norvell at plus 800. To be completely honest with you, this is going to be Brent Venables or probably someone not on this list whatsoever. Because if it's not Venables, I think Oklahoma is going to have to look a little bit differently in terms of how they go about it. Not saying that that's a bad thing, because Oklahoma's Oklahoma. They seem to just always nail the hire, and they're not really concerned about it. But I think Brent Venables is their guy right now. If he doesn't leave, then this thing is going to open up to anybody and everybody. You're looking at NFL, all kinds of different options.
Allan Bell from Sportsline.com joins us every Tuesday at Allan Bell 247 at Sportsline and Sportsline.com. You need to check him out. All right, it's college football championship week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and start with Georgia, Alabama. Pretty big spread, but I still like Georgia in this deal. Where are you?
I love Georgia. I'll say this. I love Georgia with the spread. I took them at minus 5.5. It's sitting at 6.5 right now. Anything under a touchdown, I would absolutely take it. Look, Georgia's played the exact same game 11 times in a row. Take away that first game against Clemson. It's the same game. And they're not going to change a thing. They are not going to give you anything to work with. And once they get up 10, 13, 16 points, it's a black hole. You're just not coming out of it, right? So I don't think that this is an Alabama team that compares to last year, that compares to the last 5 years. I'm not saying that they're bad by any means, but they just don't have the horses, man. This Georgia team, and everybody looks at the defense, buddy, their offense is averaging 40 points a game too, right? Like they can score on you as well. I just don't see any way Alabama, wins this game. Also, I'm taking the first quarter under 10.5. These are the two lowest scoring teams in the SEC in terms of the first quarter, because Kirby Smart and Georgia are not going to try anything big to give any mistakes to Alabama. They're going to run the ball, play field position, and Bama ain't scoring touchdowns in consecutive drives on Georgia. So, yeah, that first quarter under 10.5, I'd ride that one.
Yeah, it's funny, man. This season, during the college football season, I feel like I've gotten a pretty good handle on a few teams, Auburn being one, Ole Miss being another, and the Georgia under. Because of what you just said, they score enough points to take the air out of the ball, and then they choke you out like a python. And so, like, the under literally is hit almost every week.
Yeah. They just don't let you play the game anymore. They just take it all away from you. You're exactly right. I mean, and it's been formulaic. Go through, anybody out there listening, go through, look at the numbers every week. They played the same game 11 times.
Let me ask you this, AB. Houston, they got some guys on their team. Cincinnati make a statement because this line is pretty big. Or did they come out and make a statement why they necessarily and leave no doubt why they have to be in the college football playoff?
Yeah, so this line is pretty big. We've got Houston against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 10.5-point favorite and a total of 53.5. Look, I think the play in this game is the over 53.5 because Cincinnati's good. They probably win the game. They're not the best covering team in the country, especially when you're looking at a double-digit spread. And Houston's good. And Houston is good enough to where they're going to score, and they're not going to let Cincinnati kind of play that second half of what the New England Patriots do, similar to Georgia, what we talked about, where they just kind of bleed the clock out and just win. Houston's too good. They score too many points for Cincinnati to be able to do that. So Cincy's going to have to keep the foot on the gas, on offense as well throughout this game. I think the over 53.5 is probably your best player.
What about Baylor, Oklahoma State? Obviously, Oklahoma State with the big win in the Bedlam game against Oklahoma, favored by 5 last time I looked over Baylor. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. So Oklahoma State, 5-point favorite. You got a total of 46.5 here. I like Oklahoma State. I think that they're just a much better team than Baylor is. You look at in terms of points allowed, points forced, comparatively between these two. Oklahoma State's just a better football team, and it's nothing against Baylor. But I think Oklahoma State just gets the job done. And if you're getting it at 5, it's a great number.
Now, Purdue had moved – Purdue – oh, first of all, I don't know how I got them up.
Jeff Brom to Louisville. You want to go ahead and start that one?
Yeah, they could
There you go.
Purdue's quarterback went in the portal today. Is there a reason?
They were ranked as high as number 2 early in the year. They got to fight on Michigan. They've been up and down. They talked about this defense, how good it is. What happens in this game?
You talk about Michigan, Iowa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. So does Michigan have a letdown game after Ohio State? I think that's the first
That's my
question.
concern there, yep.
Yeah, and I think that there's a little bit of it. However, it's good that they're playing against Iowa because even if they do, it's not like the game gets out of hand.
Right.
Even if Iowa gets up, right, by a touchdown, and a field goal, right? If they get that in the first half, whatever, Michigan can come back on that, right? Like Iowa's not going to light up the scoreboard. The problem is that you're looking at 10.5. That is a big number, especially when you're looking at a total of 43.5. I would say, I would say, take the under in this game. I know 43.5 is a low number for this one, but I could see Michigan, if they get up, just running the ball the entire game, which they try to do, obviously. But I don't think that it looks like against Ohio State. I think it's just one of those just classic December-type Big Ten games. I would go with the under here in this one.
I love it. Let's go over to the NFL. So the Titans' win total is currently sitting with 5 games to go and an 8-4 record at 11.5. Can the Titans win 4 out of 5 to go over that number?
It's tough. Like, that's tough. I think that number obviously is very, very sharp. Look, I'm going to go with the under. They win 3. I think that they finish right at 11 wins, win the AFC South, and go into the playoffs exactly how they want to be. It's not going to look the same because of injuries and all those things, but I think that you're going to look at this regular season as a success. They're going to be at 11 wins. I don't think anybody would complain about that. And then let's see what can happen in the playoffs.
Let's jump in on Patriots-Bills because Patriots have won 6 in a row. Now they start a little 4-game stretch. We're going to see what and who they are. They start in Buffalo. What do you think about that?
So, okay, the same thing that we talked about last week in regards to this game, and that played out exactly how we broke it down. And this game is probably going to be the same because let's look at the last 4 weeks for the Patriots, okay? They played the Carolina Panthers, who had no run game with Christian McCaffrey being injured, all right? Patriots smoked them. All right. Cleveland Browns, no run game with COVID. Patriots smoked them. Falcons, no run game. Cordell Patterson was injured. Patriots smoked them. Titans go in with no run game. Surprisingly ran the ball very well, but they take away the pass. Patriots smoke them, right? And you look at the second half of those 4 games. The Patriots outscored the Panthers 10-0, Browns 21-0, Falcons 12-0, Titans 20-0. A team has not scored a single point on the Patriots team in the second half in 4 weeks. And what do the Bills do? They don't have a run game. So I'm going to roll the Patriots. If you're getting +3 here, yeah, give me the Patriots all day long because it's the exact same formula that they've done the last 4 weeks.
I love it, AB. At Allan Bell 247 at Sportsline, sportsline.com. That's where you'll see each of the games graded. So, like tonight, for example, NBA, college basketball, there they are. A, B, C. You can make your determination based on that.
AB.
Yeah, AB. And
C.
you don't even look at C. I don't even look at C. I just eliminate C.
No.
Thank you, AB. Good stuff, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
At Allan Bell 247. Let's get Kristen in here real quick before the break. Kristen, what's up? How are you?
Yes, I was wondering, did Brian Kelly leave just because he couldn't face Lincoln Riley at USC?
You know what's interesting about Brian Kelly? I actually heard him mentioned throughout the Tennessee search last year, which told me that guy's willing to bolt. For the right job and the right amount of money, that guy's willing to bolt. So now word around the campfire is he wanted USC, didn't get it. So now he ends up at LSU. He's got a Brinks truck full of money, and he'll probably win. Don't you guys think he'll win at LSU?
I do think he'll win. I think he'll win.
No? Davenport?
Win big? I'm not sure.
I mean,
he'll win.
it's a place you can win. You have all the resources. If you grow up in Louisiana and you're a good football player, where do you want to play football? LSU. Like, and people sit here and talk about the talent pool in
so
Texas, and I get that. And, Texas, it's the same for Texas. Well, no, now in Texas, you've got other schools that are in the mix, and you've got Jimbo at A&M. So it's not like growing up in Texas, immediately I'm going to Texas, I mean, the talent pool in LSU, look at what they've had. I can't believe that they were 500 the last 2 years, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But
it recruits itself.
It's top-notch facilities. It's, on and on and on. Seriously, I don't know, if Ed O didn't screw it up, if Ed O would have stayed focused, he probably would have been fine there.
It works itself.
So all of that to say, yeah, he probably will win there.
See, you just talked yourself through your pick. Yeah. I like it. All right, when we come back, Jim Wyatt will join us from TennesseeTitans.com. We'll talk about the Titans. What is the schedule? When did the players get out of here? How relaxed can they get? How much treatment can they get? Can they get ready for the stretch run? All those things coming up next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I love the Allen family. You will, too. I talked to Jenna today, as a matter of fact, and I always love catching up with those guys, and you will as well for any of your flooring projects that you are thinking about getting done. These are your guys' local company and brand new showroom down in Donaldson, 2405 Lebanon Pike. Check them out there. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day, and that's what separates them. You go to the big box store, you will have that project turned over to an installation company, and they'll give you a 1-800 number, and you don't really know what's going on after that. With these guys, they handle everything in-house, every bit of it. So Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen will know every bit of your project and what's going on. So get it done. 2405 Lebanon Pike in Donaldson, 615-883-3289, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
You guys, we are so excited. 3HL has a new title sponsor.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know who the most interesting man in the world is. It's this guy right here.
This man is Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert.
You guys are all pretty interesting too, and you've had a heck of a career, sir. So I won't take the claim as most interesting man in the world, but I am the fastest in the mortgage business, guaranteed. I can close loans in 14 days or less. I give my clients the best customer service on the planet, and they know that, and they refer like crazy. They send more people our way. We're blessed. We're happy for all of our past clients, and we're so excited to be kicking this off and being part of the 3HLA family. We might have to make it 4, like 3+, or something like that. I don't know. But
the more the merrier, right?
That's right. Obviously, a huge fan of the show, and all of you, and the whole station. Everybody's just been so big in our success at the Home Loan Expert. So we're just honored. We're humbled to be in this position. If you're a homeowner out there, learn more about us and visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
Three HL 1045 The Zone. What up, Slay? What are you doing, man?
I'm over here thinking about Jurassic Park.
Really?
Yeah.
The Velociraptor?
Yep.
That's the scary one.
Them was a smart, boy.
Smart, and they
animals,
move
boy.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the movie.
That's Baby
Why?
Babs. Baby Babs is a Velociraptor.
I
She's
guess
so smart.
I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know what you're talking about.
She's just smart.
Baby Babs doesn't want
You ain't
to
never seen
sleep in
Jurassic
her
Park?
crib
You've
anymore.
literally seen Major League and Fletch because we made you do that.
Major
I
League
don't-
is my
and-
favorite.
What's the name coming back from?
Oh yeah,
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Outside of those three movies, I don't know what you've ever seen, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah, not a lot. Every Christmas movie.
Are you a Christmas movie watcher?
Yeah. Elf, Home
I knew
Alone,
you were too, Babs.
Christmas Vacation. Oh, I've seen all those.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Zoe Deschanel. Love her.
What was that?
She's in Elf.
She's an elf.
Mm.
And she gorgeous.
I don't know none of these people's names.
Oh, she has blonde hair in that one, but normally
Yes.
she doesn't have blonde hair.
Dark hair, yeah, she's dark hair.
Okay.
All right, we're building a field of toys to benefit the Salvation Army's Forgotten Angel program. Toy Field, presented by T-Mobile, is Tuesday, December 7th at Nissan Stadium. While you're out doing your holiday shopping, remember those in need this holiday season. Pick up a gift for a senior or a toy and help us build a field of toys all day at Toy Field on Tuesday, December 7th. That's next Tuesday, a week from today. For more information, visit 1045thezone.com. Also, as an amendment to this bit of copy, we will be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Franklin, and you can bring toys there.
Oh.
So we can collect toys at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Then you
So
can
two
put them in a
places.
sleigh ride.
Ooh.
That's right, in your sleigh ride.
Sign a sleigh ride.
Jim Wyatt, did your
Jimmy.
43-game Tennessee Vandy streak end?
Say it ain't so, Jimmy.
Unfortunately, it did. Now I got to start another streak. Hopefully, I'll be around for another 43 years. But yeah, it was just too dangerous trying to get to Knoxville and Foxborough. Get out of Knoxville and get to Foxborough, which is a tough place to get to. Everything was a connection, and I already had one game this year. Jacksonville was a travel nightmare day where I had an 8 o'clock in the morning flight that they got canceled a couple of times, and I finally got to Jacksonville about 14, 15 hours later, so I about missed that game. I didn't want to run the risk of missing it, so it came to an end, unfortunately, and it was a good run.
Man, Jimmy.
It was a good run. If you go to 43 in a row again, I want to be there for 43, and I'll be elevated in age.
I may need help getting in at that point.
Yeah, me and you both. All right. So I asked this to Mike Keith yesterday. Has there ever been a Titans team that you've seen in more need of a bye week than this one?
No, I mean, and I'll say this. Usually when the schedule comes out and when the bye is either real early or real late, you think it's poorly timed because you like it in the middle of the season. But just the way this year's gone, it's a perfect time for a bye week. I mean, Monty Rice became the 18th player to end up on injured reserve today. I mean, there's been more than that because some guys have come off. But you set the record for most players used in a season. You're just depleted at certain positions. This team, I think, is both physically and probably mentally beat up from injuries and guys having to play too much. And, it needs a break. And so I think it's a perfect time for it. And then try to regroup, regain your footing, and get ready for what you hope is a long stretch, in December, January that goes into February. And, this team still is a good football team. Hadn't really played like it the last couple of weeks, 9 turnovers, not creating any. But a lot of that's just, again, because of guys that are just beat up and playing too much. So I think it's a good time for a bye week. And Titans are in a great spot. I mean, 2 games up in the division. You got the tiebreaker. I'm not going to say the schedule's easier because teams like the 49ers and the Dolphins are starting to play well. But certainly, Titans have some games that they can win. If they take care of business, they're going to be hosting a playoff game, in January, which is where you want to be. Give yourself a chance.
So how much better physically can this team get over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks? I mean, I know – there are a million players on IR, but who realistically can come off and get better and help contribute?
Yeah, I mean, I look at, guys like Rashaan Evans and David Long. I just mentioned Monty Rice. I mean, you got no Evans, no Long here the last couple of weeks. Now Monty Rice is down. I would think after a couple of weeks that maybe those guys are close to returning. Julio Jones at least will be eligible to come back after the bye week. AJ, not so. I mean, he's still it's 3 games, not 3 weeks. It seems like I've got to remind people of that because it is a 3-game timetable that guys got to sit out. Bud Dupree's another guy that can come back. A lot of them you just don't know because guys are rehabbing inside and they're on an IR schedule and they're not out there doing rehab work where you can get a gauge of where they are. I have seen certain guys out there running in recent weeks. I don't necessarily think I should say just because that kind of tips stuff off that I'm seeing that maybe I'm not supposed to see. So I will say that some guys are obviously working their way back and getting closer. So I expect to see some guys back off all practicing again when the team comes back next week.
All right, Jim.
What happens on field 3 stays on field 3.
I was gonna say, dog. I wasn't gonna tell nobody I was working my way back yet, Jim. But if you're gonna let the cat out the bag, I mean, go ahead, dog. I'll let you say it first. I'm on my way back, y'all. Everybody be ready.
Yep.
Jim,
And then
I saw you get off.
The question you get most is what about Derrick Henry?
Mm-hmm.
And again, that one's only 3-4 weeks removed from surgery. He's still in the recovery process. Mike Vrabel mentioned him yesterday. I mean, it's too early to say if or when he's coming back, whether he can get back for the postseason. I know that's the big one everybody asks about on a regular basis, but at least he is in the building and doing some things to try to get himself back in a position to return.
Jim, you need a recharge too, don't you? The fans, like everybody needs a recharge, don't they, man, for this bye week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to it. I'm getting up my booster shot tomorrow. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to getting some stuff done, around the house that I haven't been able to do. That my wife's been on me about. Certainly, tempted to try to, tempted to make a drive down to the beach and look at the Gulf of Mexico for a couple of days, but then you also realize it wouldn't be bad to sit on your front of your TV and watch some of these college football championship games on Saturday too. So I'm still torn on what I'm going to do, but it will be nice to kind of have a little bit of a break, catch your breath, and again, we're just kind of getting started again. I mean, with 5 games left and potentially some playoff games, it's a long run now. This season, is 12 games in from a regular season standpoint, but we've still got a ways to go, and at least that's the hope. And so it'd be good to kind of catch your breath before you get geared up for that.
I'm a Gulf of Mexico plan guy. That sounds good to me. You can watch those games down there, bro.
That is true.
I did it on the beach on my phone with like 13 other people.
Wouldn't be bad. I got a wife that's a school teacher, though, that's going to have a hard time clearing her skid, unfortunately. So I may be a raking leaves, watching games on TV type of guy this weekend.
She's been fully involved with this Titan season too. She'll understand that you need a little break. All right, bro. Thank you, man.
Okay, y'all have a good one. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Jim Wyatt at Jay Wyatt Sports, TennesseeTitans.com. You can get us on Zone TV, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Mr. Fusion, longtime Vanderbilt fan here, listening to 3HL. But after listening to Ron Slay for a while now, I think I might. No, wait, I'm going to convert.
Wait, what?
Woo-hoo! Move over. Got a new passenger. Give me your ticket, and I'll plug it. Come on in, big guy. It's fun in here. The water's warm. It used to be cold. I ain't going to lie to you. It used to be real cold and chilly and kind of murky. But we got a new filtration system, and we all right in here, buddy. Come on in. Come on in and have a good time. It's a heated pool.
Boy, now you're just getting Vandy fans to convert to Tennessee. What is going on
here?
Hey,
man, listen, man. All I'm here to do is tell you the truth, man, as I see it. Now, whose truth you going to believe? It's either you can believe the truth, you can believe a lie, or you can believe my perspective. And I'm going to lead you in the right direction.
By the way, this story on Barstool Sports, this happened over in Europe. And this is the headline. Blizzard trapped 61 people in a pub with an Oasis cover band named Noasis for 3 days.
3 days?
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Oh,
3 days.
I wouldn't mind being trapped in a pub for 3 days. I'm just going to let that out there with no responsibilities whatsoever.
Okay.
But
with as long as you have food and booze.
With an Oasis tribute band named Noasis? What are they just playing every minute of the day?
Dude.
There's only so many times you can hear Wonderwall. You got Wonderwall in there?
Oh, I can find it.
Oh, my.
Champagne supernova in the sky, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to be real, though. I used to, when we used to go out, it used to get snow in Milan at ridiculous times. It would be just start snowing at 3 a.m. I used to be like, man, what if we got trapped in the club and we was just fried and it was snowing outside. We couldn't get back home. We had to stay and party an extra day.
Guess what?
Sounds
that really
horrible.
happens.
Exactly. I'm jealous a little bit.
Who knew?
They've had films on a projector screen, a quiz night, a buffet meal. This is the Tan Hill Inn in Yorkshire Dales.
Who paid for this?
Why are they stuck?
Man,
Like
you in
is
there
snow
partying.
like blocking the door? I don't
be.
understand.
Ain't nobody get to them, Babs. It's
Tribute
ice.
band Oasis has been providing musical entertainment. They've been stranded there since their gig on Friday at the pub.
That for sure. That turned into karaoke.
Did they get overtime?
It did turn into karaoke on night 3. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, maybe you are really into this bye week and watching this Titans team the last few weeks. You feel like you need something relaxing. I've got it for you. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Maybe you need to go take a visit there. And everybody loves a spa. Everybody loves a spa gift. Maybe you need to gift a day at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa to somebody. Here's the deal. They've got all these different services, over 10 different services, all under their one roof at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs. So if you want to go and get a massage, you can do that. Maybe it's time for a pedicure. Maybe you're overdue. Yeah, that would be me. Manicure, pedicure, get that done there. Sunless tanning. They have waxing, skincare, facials, hair salon, makeup, you name it. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa can help you relax and refuel after what was a long 13 weeks for the Tennessee Titans. So there you go. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Gift cards available 24/7 on their website, amomentspeace.com, or give them a call at 615-224-0770. They can handle special requests for you if you are gifting somebody a day of relaxation, or go visit them in Cool Springs at the intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakers Bridge Avenue. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Just because the Titans are off does not mean that they are not putting more players on injured reserve. Oh, they will if they want to. Linebacker Monty Rice has been placed on injured reserve, and they have also announced that the wide receiver Austin Mack has been released from the practice squad. That's it as of right now. Now, the transfer portal today is extremely active with a lot of players going. Vanderbilt has already had 3 players enter the transfer portal so far today. Safety Brandon Harris, cornerback Gabe Judy Lally, as well as wide receiver Cam Johnson. Kentucky has running back Travis Tisdale. He is now in the transfer portal. And South Carolina's wide receiver Rock Hill has also entered the transfer portal. And Mark Stoops has a brand new extension that runs through 2028. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to go visit our friends over at USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up? 3HL is on the air on 104.5 The Zone. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Brent Doherty. Dawn Davenport.
Hi.
Better known as the queen of sports talk radio in Nashville.
Right. That's right. Get it right.
I hate that.
And Slay Dog.
Yeah. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
There are only 2 people that I know that call you Ron. Ramon Foster. Big savagery.
It
as
sounds
we like
weird
to
when he called me Slay.
Sounds weird if I call you Ron, though.
Yep, sure do.
And Chris Lowe.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll call you Big Slay, though.
Yeah, he will.
Yep. But anyway, hey, I was reading more on this story out of I don't even know where, somewhere in Europe, some icy place in Europe. And again, the headline was Blizzard trapped 61 people in a pub with Oasis cover band named No Aces for several days. Oh, they're in England, upstate.
Oh, wow.
Sort of. I guess that's what you say. The pub's general manager, Nicola Townsend, said, "It's just been lovely, and everyone is in really good spirits. It's really good atmosphere. They've been trapped for 3 days. They finally got out yesterday.
Everybody fried.
So Noasis performed, on, which I love the name of that band. Noasis performed on Friday, and then they didn't get out until yesterday. So 3 days in this bar, trapped by 61 people trapped by snow. So she said, it's been a really good atmosphere. They formed quite a friendship, like a big family is the best way I can describe it. One lady actually said, I don't want to leave. On Saturday, guests thanked the 7 members of the staff stuck inside with them by presenting them with a jar filled with poundage and cash. Let's see. On Sunday, the pub laid on a traditional lunch before guests and staff worked together to decorate the bar for Christmas and prepare for an evening of karaoke. There you go, Slay.
How cute is that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I mean, there are worse places to get stuck. That's for sure.
Miss Townsend, than in a pub, yes. Miss Townsend said she feels many of those stranded, including herself, will stay in touch long after they have been freed.
Bless Miss Townsend hard.
Send each other Christmas cards.
No Oasis. I got to find out what this band sounds like.
Bro, Nathaniel.
Wonderwall and all that. All right, big news, obviously, is Brian Kelly. Everybody talking about Brian Kelly leaving to go to LSU. And, Chris Lowe on the show yesterday said, it's very rare when you see Power 5 guy go to Power 5 school. Now we've seen 2 in this cycle.
Hang on.
And both of them a surprise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, 7 of college football's top 20 in terms of all-time wins, the jobs came open in one cycle. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, USC, LSU, Virginia Tech, Washington, and Florida. 7 of the top 20. And if you add 3 from last year, that's 10. That's half of the winningest college football teams in the top 20 when you add Tennessee, Texas, and Auburn last year. 10 of 20.
Crazy.
It's a crazy world. You know what else is crazy? This show has a title sponsor.
And that title sponsor is, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, presented by, 3HL is presented by, how about that? 3HL is presented by Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com. Plenty of energy right there.
I love how you wobble when you do that.
Yeah, sometimes that's how you get the energy out. wobble it out. Wobble, 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 wobble.
That's what I was thinking of, that song.
I don't even know what that song is. Doesn't
Well,
Oasis
it's
sing
played
that
at
song?
like every wedding ever.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Mayor.
It's like the electric slide.
I haven't
We
been
know
to a
who's not
wedding.
doing the wobble. Yeah.
I haven't been to a wedding in a long time.
I
I'm
haven't
reaching
either.
like funeral
We're
age.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they're not playing that song at the funeral.
Why not? It should be a celebration of
Guess
life.
what? That's what I
I
said.
agree.
That's what I want.
I want
That's
happy
what
people.
I want too.
I
There you
want
go.
that
It's
I
all
want a party.
documented.
Yeah,
I want all y'all to get together and drink a whole lot, and hang out.
Yeah, tell some stories,
and-
party.
Yes.
Yeah, party for me.
That's what they do in New Orleans.
Yeah, they sure do.
They party in the street.
Yes, they do.
For a
Right.
funeral.
Yeah. Brian Kelly will know that.
Second line.
Also,
It'll be
all
second line.
of the graves are above sea level, above ground.
Oh, because they have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when the flood
Float
comes
away.
through there.
Okay. That's it's very dark.
Why do you think I'm so dark? I love all these like
I don't
happy romantic comedy movies.
Yeah, you pull some dark comments.
I do.
Here and there though.
It's, as Slay said earlier, it's just real stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
Can we get back to this coaching thing? Like I'm on
Yeah.
the record as saying this is all the NCAA's fault because they have this early signing period that starts December 15th, right? So all these schools don't have a choice. They have to make moves quickly because you have to, I guess, theoretically have your new coach in by December 15th, right? So I get it. I'm coming off working the SMU Tulsa game where the Sonny Dykes debacle was going on, where, that was like the worst kept secret ever, right? For 3 weeks, he was going to TCU, but he was still coaching that last game.
don't ask him about it.
And all of this. Yeah. So, but Sonny Dykes was pretty honest about it. Like he met with his team on that Sunday prior to their final game on Saturday and told them, hey, look, we don't know what the future holds. Future's uncertain for some of you that might go in the transfer portal, might go to the draft. For me, who knows what's going to happen, but let's finish the season strong. So he clearly was telling his team, look, I'm not going to be here after this season, right? If you're not smart enough as a player to read between the lines of that conversation, then that's your own problem. But this Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley, how that all went down, like Lincoln Riley legit is still saying that he didn't have a conversation with USC until Sunday or late Saturday night, Sunday morning. And then you're going to get the job. Everything's going to be hammered out with your private jet for 24/7 use for your family and your sale of your 2 homes in Norman and all of that's ironed out in an hour on Sunday.
No.
Give me a freaking break.
Listen, I'm not buying it. You shouldn't be selling it. I
That's
think
what
that,
I
that,
hate.
That whole
that
deal went
BS
down
lying.
when
That's
James
what I don't
Franklin decided to stay for 10 years at Penn State. That's when that's when the USC thing happened.
Yeah.
Franklin knew, so he was like, "Okay, I'm going to stay at Penn State."
But that's what I'm saying.
None of them will
these
admit to
coaches
any of
then
that,
going
but-
back and saying, "Oh well, I didn't have a single conversation until Sunday, and it got done in 5 hours." Like, no, it didn't.
Like Albert Hainsworth's
No, you
contract
didn't.
when he signed with the
right?
Redskins,
The Redskins at 12:01
a.m. $120 million
I mean,
deal.
come on. And the Brian Kelly stuff too. Like you didn't know. I understand you clearly underestimated the local media to where that story was going to get out before you could tell your team. But like you have to know. But then again, Brian Kelly's sitting there recruiting on that Sunday. On Sunday, he is in a recruit's house for Notre Dame recruiting.
Did he tell him before he left? You know I might be gone.
Yeah.
Come to LSU.
Probably
way,
not. Although, do you remember the Tommy Tuberville story? He did that. Like, he
Really?
took the job while he was on a recruiting visit and was just like, hey, okay, cool, peace.
That's real.
That was
Brian
such
Kelly
a Tommy Tuberville.
he could tell that recruit, look, I've got a team meeting with the players tomorrow at 7. I'll Zoom you in.
Yeah.
It only lasts a
I'll
couple
be
minutes.
in.
Yeah, don't need
Yeah.
trip.
All right, your phone calls when we come back, your reaction. A lot of people want to weigh in on Brian Kelly, Lucas on Urban Meyer, James on Tennessee. 615-737-1045. Hit us on Twitter at 3HL1045. That's where Todd wrote. Does Babs want no aces to play at her funeral? Wonderwall. She said yes. LeBron Stewart on Twitter. What's up, family? Babs, Hunk, Brent, Ron, LB in the building. Doors locked, bolted, and no damn roof. If you need a roof on your car, you can go to see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. If you need no roof on your car, they've got plenty of Jeeps. Check them out. GuptonMotors.com is the website. You can check out the entire inventory there. All the dealership information is there. Phone number, address, all of those things you'll find right there. GuptonMotors.com. Or simply go see my friends at Gupton. Daniel Gupton, the guys are ready to help you out. There will be no pressure on you whatsoever. They simply want you in a vehicle that's right for you. That's it. So go take your test drive, ask your questions. They'll have your answers for you. You'll go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. 3450 Tom Austin Highway is the address in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Again, the website, GuptonMotors.com. Go see them and tell them Brent sent you. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Oh, here's Oasis. Not no aces.
Oasis.
I want to hear no aces. I can think of a lot of things that are worse than being trapped in a pub for 3 days.
Yeah.
Look, honey, I can't come home. Can't even get out.
I mean, trapped at home is way worse than trapped in a pub. Right? And I love my husband.
Well, that's good.
What movies do you think they were watching on the projection screen?
I don't know, but they were. Oh, man. What a great story. Look it up. It's on Barstool. I tweeted it out at Brent Doherty.
I'm waiting for there to be a relationship that is spawned from this. Right?
Oh, you think somebody's going to spawn somebody from this?
Yes.
There's a Hallmark movie.
That is not what I said. That's not what I meant. I'm not shocked that that's the direction that you went.
But you also agreed with me.
Yes.
Hey, guess what, though?
What you got?
The snowstorm, the snow was up over the cars.
Yeah.
Oh,
they couldn't get out.
Yeah, it was
this place in the middle of nowhere, and they're famous for never closing their doors to travelers, no matter what the situation. So,
oh, that really, yeah.
There
People gonna be going just to see it now.
Heck yeah, bro.
Like this is where they was.
No Aces might get their deal out of
That'll
it.
be the house band.
Blow up.
They'll just never
They're
leave.
gonna
They'll
blow
just
up now.
Blow up.
build the place out back. We're going to check in with Jerry Caldwell, who's the executive vice president and GM of Bristol Motor Speedway, in just a couple of minutes. And the significance there is NASCAR, we already know, is at the Super Speedway. It's coming. Now the announcement is the Fairground Speedway is going to have NASCAR Cup race for the first time since 1984.
This is huge.
So, huge story. We'll get there in just a second. In the meantime, Scott next up, talking about Brian Kelly. Scott, what's up?
What's up, people?
What up, Scott?
Hey, real quick before I get to BK, none of those people sounded like they were in any hurry to leave that pub. They're decorating, they're doing karaoke. I would have been right there with
Isn't
them.
that a great story, man? I want to see the movie version of that.
Like, I can't
no
come
doubt.
to work. I'm stuck in a pub.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I've been a Notre Dame fan for 45 years or so. And Dawn had said earlier, or somebody asked a question, can he win at LSU? I'm not happy he left. The way he left, that's kind of how it goes down these days.
It is.
Most of the time. But that guy has won at every level, at every stop he's been at. He will win at LSU. He won at Grand Valley State. He won at Central Michigan. He won at Cincinnati. Won at Notre Dame. And without a doubt, Marcus Freeman should be the next head coach. That guy is one of the best recruiters in America. He came in late winter this year, and Notre Dame was nowhere near the top. They currently have the third or fourth ranked recruiting class this year coming up, depending which one you look at. They've got number 2 for 2023, and that program is set up. A lot of ND fans are worried about, first year head coach has never done nothing, but they are set up right now for a guy like that. And I'm telling you right now, if he's not the hire, if the AD there, Jack Swarbrick, if he screws this up, they will run him out of town with pitchforks. I promise you. But Brian Kelly will win at LSU. That dude can put a program together.
Yep.
He will win.
Yep.
He's
Thank
right.
you.
He's
Thank you,
won
Scott.
everywhere. And he's left shady everywhere, too.
Well, yeah, and I mean, just in terms of the winning, the level of dude that he's going to be able to bring into LSU.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we already saw it a couple of years ago.
There are less restrictions at LSU than there are at Notre Dame.
That is true. That is true. All right, big story in Nashville, and if you know anything about the history of sports in this town, the Fairgrounds Speedway is involved in that history, and Jerry Caldwell joins us now, Executive VP and General Manager of Bristol Motor Speedway. Jerry, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. I'm doing great. I hope you are.
We are. So, big announcement today. Go ahead and, for those that haven't heard, what was the announcement made today about 3 o'clock?
Yeah, we have reached an agreement in principle with Mayor Cooper that puts together a great plan to restore the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, 30-year agreement that really creates a venue that can be additive to the city, also be able to host NASCAR racing and be able to bring NASCAR back to Nashville at the fairgrounds. We're so excited to be able to take this next step. And now this agreement will be going in front of the Fair Board and Metro Council to receive final approval, but we're excited to have this next step.
So it's been a while. Why now? How now, I guess?
Well, it has been a while. This has been a 4.5-year process with us having conversations with the city, and that's been a good process. I think it's been what needed to happen. There's a ton of history there. There's also, you have a racetrack that is charter protected and has been there for 100 years in a populated area, and we needed to take our time to have conversations with that community. The Metro folks needed to as well, and make sure that people were being heard and take that feedback and work it into what the mayor's done here, which I think is he's put together a really smart deal that will pay for those renovations out at the racetrack, so that they're that the racetrack pays for itself. And that's really what the taxpayers of Nashville deserve. And we are excited to be able to work with him and the Fair Board and Council to create that venue that can be a racetrack, but also be so much more.
I grew up here, and Nashville's turned into a melting pot. So I think, man, with me growing up here, it's super cool to know that track will be used. Like, it's going to be used for some good, too. I want to know what it's like going in there and saying, drivers, start your engines. So that was my pitch to you, in case you needed somebody to do something.
I like that.
Okay, yeah.
Can you now give me a pitch on singing the national anthem? We could let you do both.
You know what?
Gosh.
I just ate some M&Ms a little minute ago, but I never back down from a challenge. Oh, say can I get it a little later. I'm get your number, and then we'll connect on that.
Maybe Davenport could do that. I don't know. Well, so Jerry Caldwell with us from Bristol Motor Speedway, Executive VP and GM, talking about the Fairground Speedway. So do you anticipate any roadblocks in this last hurdle?
We look forward to the conversation. I think the mayor has put together a great plan here for the city, again, with feedback from the Fair Board, taking it to them. So we know there needs to be more conversation with the community, and that folks can understand this deal, understand the way it can benefit and all that it brings to the table. And we look forward to those conversations. They've been very productive so far. We've worked hard to make sure that we can improve the quality of life with this plan over in that area. So that's why we've included sound absorption walls in this design, in this build, and we'll work hard to communicate with that neighborhood on events that are going to be there. There will be a limited number of races, no more racing than is there now, and in fact, we'll have a few less dates on the calendar. But we think we can really work with the community to create something that everyone's proud of and is a venue that lots of folks can come use and have obviously racing, that's our core business, but lots of other events as well.
You said the racetrack will pay for itself. So does that mean, Jerry, limited taxpayer funding, no taxpayer funding? Where are we there?
There's no taxpayer general fund dollars being used for this. There'll be revenue bonds, and that way the events that we put on, as well as our rent payment and others, will pay for this thing.
For those that are new to the city, can you help me explain maybe like the romanticism that people in your world have for that track, for the Fairground Speedway? Because anyone I talk to in the world of racing on any level, driver, whatever, seems to have roots to that track. Can you help explain the romanticism there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you look across other sports. You can look at Lambeau Field or Wrigley Field or Augusta National. Pick your sport and pick your iconic venue. And then imagine that venue going into disrepair. And that's really what the Nashville Fairground Speedway was up until the 1980s. And then it's really not had any major investment in the last 30-some years, and has fallen into a bit of a state of disrepair and is not additive currently the way the events have been running to the whole. And this really completes that last piece of the puzzle out there at the fairgrounds. But I think you look at that history, and that's what gets the sport of NASCAR, but I really believe even outside the sport of NASCAR, so excited about what the opportunities are out there. I mean, people love restoring old things right now, whether it's cars or anything else. There's an attraction to that, and I think the storyline, when you look at a historic venue like Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, just lends itself to that. I mean, think of Darrell Waltrip and Cuckoo Marlin and Sterling Marlin and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and all the drivers, Chase Elliott, all the drivers that have been out there in the past. And they're doing great things out there now, and we believe we can just add to that and make it better for everyone.
Second oldest operating track in the United States. And for those that don't know, NASCAR Cup Series racing from 1958 to 1984, Joe Weatherly won the first race in 1958. And then the last race, Jeff Bodine beat Darrell Waltrip. And Waltrip, who we've talked with numerous times about this track and everything else and involved with the world of racing, won 8 Cup races at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, second only to Richard Petty, the king, with 9. So it's fun to go back and read through some of that history.
Yeah, they're great videos you can find on YouTube, and just think about how special that place was, again, in the sport of NASCAR, but I really think in sports as a whole, and being able to restore that. That story doesn't happen that often. And this isn't building a new facility. This isn't trying to move a sports team here. This is something that's been here for 100 years, more than 100 years, and it's really restoring it to its rightful place. So I think it's just an amazing story and a tremendous opportunity.
Well, I'm glad to see you guys and the soccer people and all of the entities that need to be involved with making this happen, get this to be a thing. And 5 years from now, that piece of real estate over there is going to be phenomenal, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we believe so, and look forward to working with the community and appreciate your time today.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Always good to talk with you, my friend. Thank you, Jerry Caldwell. Bristol Motor Speedway. So Fairgrounds Speedway. So Nashville goes without a Cup race from 1984 to now, and now you're going to have 2 in 2 different tracks. It's crazy.
As it should be.
Yeah, all kinds of sports.
As it should be.
So baseball's next, I guess, right?
Heck yeah, it is.
So that's right there by where they're building the
MLS, right next door, baby.
Yep.
I mean, right on top of each other, some would say.
Yep.
615-737-1045 is the number at 3HL 1045. We can take your calls. James in Ashland City next up. Hey, James, what's up?
What up, James?
Hey, guys, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, yeah, I had it on speakerphone. I wanted to take it off. What I want to talk about is Tennessee football program real quick. I know Brian Kelly's taking up all the airtime today, but I've been wanting to call and mention this for a while now. Isn't it amazing how one coach can make a difference? And let me just explain what I'm talking about. The Tennessee football program has less talent. You can argue that they have less talent. They definitely have less depth this year than they did last year. But instead of winning 3 games with less talent, they win 7 games this year. And to me, it's all about the coaching and the locker room. And I know, Slay, being on teams, you know how much the locker room means. I don't think last year that those guys wanted to play for Jeremy Pruitt. I think he may have been a slight dictator without having dictator credentials. And certainly Derek Tano and the soap opera around the quarterback had a lot to play with that. So my point is this guy, Josh Heupel, has come in. He's won that locker room with a couple transfers, with less talent, and certainly less depth on defense. Now, having said all that, the one thing that concerns me as a Tennessee fan and a former season ticket owner is, if you guys remember back in 2011 when Derek Dooley was the coach, was I see a lot of similarity in Josh Heupel and Derek Dooley. What I hope does not happen. If you remember back when they had Tyler Bray, we put up 40-something points, but we had to put up 40-something points because the defense couldn't stop anybody. So my hope moving forward, and by the way, I don't think he's going to Oklahoma. I don't. But my hope moving forward is, unlike Derek Dooley, he's going to recruit just as hard on defense as he is on offense. And I just wanted you guys to talk a little bit about what you guys think about the difference in the culture that these 2 different coaches have done. And I'll hang up and listen. And thank you. Oh, by the way, before I get off here, Ron, I wanted to tell you, I saw your picture on Facebook with the mayor Jolton, and that was an awesome picture. He's a good friend of mine. You guys have a great time. We'll talk to you later.
That's what's up. I appreciate it, man.
Mayor of Jolson,
Mm-hmm.
long-time listener.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Or, we can go back and forth on that.
I think first and foremost, you hit it on the head, man. The locker room was torn. There was bad aura in the locker room, and for sure, if you're a less talented team, man, a team will run through a brick wall. I don't care if they are talented or not talented. If they believe in you and what you're preaching, and you show one thing, you can't trick you can't trick kids, man. And I know these are young adults, but you can't trick them. They either know you're genuine or you're not. So they'll go through a wall for them, and I think that's what you're getting out there on the field. It's not that they're better than everybody and they're scheming up better than everybody, but they're playing with effort and they're not playing with any quit. And that's a reflection of him changing the entire culture there. And I think that's how battered and bruised the culture was there. So the black cloud was lifted, and I think it does carry on. And I think to your recruiting, will he recruit the defense just as hard? I think it's people in place to recruit the defense just as hard. I think Tim Banks and them, they handle that.
Yeah, and Banks is one that's being mentioned in some of these potential job openings. If Cincinnati comes open, you'll hear his name there. You're already hearing it at Duke. This is a really talented coach that did a really good job with not a lot to work with. I mean, Dawn, you went to the Kentucky game. You said Tennessee played 19 players on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Total.
19.
That's it.
That's tough.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yep. That's tough.
And I mean, that's crazy, period, for a game. But then you look at that game.
Yeah.
And the discrepancy in time of possession, and it's even crazier that that's the number they played.
In terms of comparing the two, Derek Dooley and Heupel, Dooley was trying to run his program as a CEO. He was not a hands-on, let me call everything kind of coach like Josh Heupel is.
Right.
The other part of that is you're talking about a 5-win team going into a 5-win team. So Derek Dooley's first year, he was 5-7. He had Tyler Bray, he had Justin Hunter, he had Cordarrelle Patterson, who's now playing running back in the NFL and still rolling. So he had some weapons that were weapons the previous year, even. Josh Heupel, the impressive part of Josh Heupel is that offense sucked on whatever you want to say. Last year. I mean, just sucked last year. And to walk into a situation with
you also had a different quarterback, though.
Your route tree and all of this, and here are my guys in this room that I've got to fit into this system. And to get that done in 1 year, again, I keep talking about it. If they average 40 points per game, that's the first time at Tennessee since 1993. That goes through the Manning years. You're talking about Heath Schuler back in 1993. That is exceptionally impressive in my opinion. So, I mean, you're talking about a first 1,000-yard receiver potentially in Cedric Tillman who had 8 career receptions until this season. Think about that.
Yeah. And at 57 or something like that this year?
For 913. If he gets to 1,000, he's the first 1,000-yard receiver since Justin Hunter from that season, 2012. So, I mean, Tyler Bray had a live arm. There is no doubt about it. And he threw I remember going into that season at SEC Media Days, we were interviewing him, and I told him, I think you're going to throw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. And he kind of chuckled. And I was like, you don't think so? He's like, I mean, that'd be great. He almost did. But that had very little to do with Derek Dooley, in my opinion. So, Josh Heupel, way more hands-on. So here's the thing. In terms of recruiting, Josh Heupel not known as a big-time recruiter. Now, he hasn't been at a school with facilities like this. So we'll see what he does.
But he's not – he's you talk about the players liking and buying it. He's not electric. He's not I mean, we've sat with him numerous times.
He's likable, but he's not like this personality that's in your face.
He's almost like a likable jerk. I know that sounds weird, but
I haven't seen that side, but I've heard that from
that's
a
how
bunch of
he
people.
comes off. And I know that it's hard to explain that, but he's not rude. He's pretty forthcoming. He'll have the conversation with you. He looks you in the eye. Do you know what I mean? But there's just like a part of, I don't know. It's weird.
Well,
he's
I
not
think with you,
dynamic
though,
with recruiting.
With you and with people
what I'm
like
saying.
you that do the job that you do, I think there's a guard that goes up. So
Yes,
when I run
very
into
much
him
so.
at a CPA football game and talk to him for 20 minutes, it's a completely different thing.
Right.
And so he's soft-edged there.
But I
So
just
haven't
wonder
seen
how
side of
that personality, because we've seen kind of different bits of his personality. He's
Mhm.
not dynamic by any means.
No, he's not a sales guy.
No. So I'm just thinking recruiting wise, what that's like
Here's what's
for
going to
him
happen.
recruiting.
Here's what's going to happen this year. Slay, I want to get your take on this.
Mm-hmm.
You too, Don. I think Tennessee will be one of the more active teams in the portal in terms of guys that can help you now.
Right.
Because I think, like, you don't have to be a tremendous sales guy based on what you put out there for everybody to see this year.
Well,
You
let
can
me ask you
here's
this.
the iPad. Here are the route trees. Here's this guy who did nothing and then is an NFL
Here's my
talent.
offensive numbers. That's all you have to
Yeah.
put out there.
But
But do you have the quarterback that's there doing that right now? And that's a big question.
Yeah, I don't know that you get quarterback transfer necessarily this year because I think Hendon Hooker's coming back, don't you?
You do?
Yep, I
you
do
both
too.
you both 100% do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Cedric Tillman's coming back
See,
too.
the only reason I look, by the way, they've got a great relationship too, those two.
Tillman and Hooker.
The only reason I look at Hooker and think, I don't know, is because look at how weak this quarterback class is. It's so weak. Like he has a chance to
be like what, a fourth rounder?
get it.
But I think
He has a chance to give himself a chance because this quarterback class is so bad this year.
I just think he has.
And
a
I say
chance to
bad, you
come
know what I
back
mean? It's
and
weak.
Do
Comparatively.
more
Right.
to move up to like a second rounder, honestly. But I will say,
or more,
Because that's what
Or
you
more.
always have to say. You have to look at it and say, if you're Hendon Hooker, okay, does me coming back better my chance? You know, because
Yeah.
you did the same exact thing in basketball. Does it better my chances? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't even think
But,
he
like-
scratched the surface of what he could
Of what
really-
he can do?
Yeah, because you got to think it's still less than 10 months. He's been on this job for 10 months. Like, imagine.
But it's
Coach Heupel
also
says,
it's also a
this isn't
system
even
that
our-
doesn't, you don't look at it and say, oh, that's an NFL quarterback in that
Right,
system.
that too. But if you put out the yards, you're undeniable.
right?
You know what I'm
And-
saying? He missed
and
two games.
This
2.5
offseason will
games,
be
right?
completely different for him in that he will be the starting quarterback.
I want to
And
address
healthy.
something too when we get back
And-
about the recruiting part.
And
of it.
first team reps and all of those things. Yep, we'll do it. 615-737-1045.
I got some midweek motivation for you. A good deal going on at Zero Res. If you need insanely clean carpets, here's the deal they have going on. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned plus a free hallway for $119. That's it. And $50 off of air duct cleaning. Some restrictions may apply, but that is good through November. Give them a call today. Check out their website at zeroresnashville.com to book your carpet cleaning or book your air duct cleaning. And here's the deal. This is why Zero Res is so different. They clean with powered water, no soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals. And maybe you're sitting there thinking, oh, okay, yeah, well, guess what? Your carpet probably isn't really that clean. No, it is. It is because they also have the highest approval rating possible from the Carpet and Rug Institute. And Zero Res is rated #1 cleaning system in the nation by an independent testing laboratory. So when they clean, there is nothing left behind. No harsh chemicals means pure safety for your family and your pets. Give them a call today, 615-535-9376. Tell them Dawn sent you for that 3 rooms of carpet clean plus a free hallway for $119. You can book online, zeroresnashville.com. That's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. By the way, who was it on the Zone TV feed that asked us? Oh, Elijah, Titans question for the trio. If the Titans lose to the Jags and Texans, can they still make the playoffs? Yes. The magic number is 3. Combination of Titans wins or Colts losses. 3.
Although, what did I just say, Slay? I said, I'm not going to lie to you. If the Titans lose to the Jags and the Texans, they ain't going anywhere this year in the playoffs, so it really doesn't matter.
I agree with Babs.
Unless they get Derrick Henry right after the regular season.
Yeah.
But what if they lose to him without Julio, without AJ, without Derrick, without half the defense?
And then they all come back.
And then they all come back. That's different then.
Wouldn't that be an unbelievable story? Like to go through the regular season like this, and then everybody just, hey, we back. Get ready. And they just flip a switch.
Then we'll be like talking about what Babs was saying earlier in the year.
Yeah, if the Colts go
chemistry.
If the Colts go 5-0, the Titans need to go 2-3, right?
Yeah.
So
listen, they're gonna win 3 out of 5. I don't care what they
or 3-2. They would need to go 3-2. Sorry,
coming off this bye, dude, they're gonna be fine. Like,
what do you think about Josh Heupel?
I think to answer the question about the recruiting, I think you got to be able to, your deficiencies. So if your deficiency is recruiting, that's one of your problems. You go get guys that can recruit. That's why the first people he went and got was Ronnie Garner.
Boy, I'd start there.
Huge recruiter.
Yeah, he ain't got Coach Eckler. Like these are guys. Not only that.
Did I tell you guys that I chatted with Eckler on the field prior to the Kentucky game? That guy's next level.
I love it.
And he showed me his Will Compton tattoo.
What in the world is that about?
You want to talk about recruiting?
Mm-hmm.
I love Will, but man.
I'm pretty sure he got it in order to get Will to come to school there. Like, this guy is next level recruiting. He's getting tattoos of kids.
What I'm saying. Like, I mean, so how do you not?
Seriously, his energy, though, I was like, I need that injected in my veins every day.
My son Connor went to a special teams camp up there, and it's the same way. And it was with a bunch of kids that probably will never play there.
There you go.
He didn't care.
There you go.
Yep.
Now, describe what you just described about Josh Heupel. He's not a guy with excitement. He's not a guy going wild.
He's not dynamic. He's not a dynamic personality.
Then you bring a guy in the room like Eckler, and there you go. That's how you offset it. So, I mean, like, I think the recruiting's going to be fine, man.
Yeah.
You got people
Happy
to go
medium would be nice there.
Perfect. Like, you kind of need somebody to, like, wait a minute, hold on. Okay.
Even one out and bring the other up.
There you go. So, I think they're going to be just fine, man, honestly.
So the other part of that call previous to the break was he said, I don't think Heupel's going anywhere. Neither do we.
No.
We've consistently said that. You never say never in this business.
I didn't think Lincoln Riley would go to USC.
Right.
And I certainly didn't think Brian Kelly would leave Notre Dame.
I don't think anybody's offering Josh Heupel $95 million, though.
No, you're right.
Yet.
You're right.
But if you continue to win, now Tennessee could lose their OC. They could lose their DC. They could lose some other, assistants. So that comes with showing out a little bit.
Ask Nick Saban how that goes. Because it happens every year.
There you go. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. No, because I don't want to be a homer. But when picking my staff, when picking my staff and I'm bringing guys in, I'm letting them know. Listen, man, like this is a 2 to 3 year process, especially walking into this situation. Any other situation, a school that's established that got some winning, they're not in a dumpster at the bottom of it and there's ashes down there. Somebody already put the fire out and you just still sitting in the ashes. I would say okay. Like the Florida situation, it's still fine. LSU is still fine. USC, it's a dumpster. Ain't no ashes yet, but it's a dumpster. You telling your coaching staff, hey, man, I need y'all for 2 or 3 years. That's what I think he has in his group. I think he has loyalty in his group because that's not only what he's preaching to them, that's what they're preaching to the players, and the players bought into that. So, I mean, when we talk about guys coming back like Tillman, Hendon Hooker, it's not always just for draft stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be wrong. But I don't believe so.
615-737-1045. Let's get Lucas in here. Lucas, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, we're good. Thanks.
Just wanted to maybe potentially open up a Pandora's box here with this coaching thing. There's one guy that doesn't get mentioned a lot, and considering the remarks from his owner earlier in the season of how displeased he was with his little visit up to Columbus, You got to think that Ohio State feels like they let one go since they let Fickle walk out the door after he interimed. They had Urban. They probably wouldn't trade that. And now Day, there's some rumors Day might be going to Chicago to coach the Bears, and anything's possible now. So if Day does go, I highly doubt Ohio State calls Urban. But with the Notre Dame vacancy, what a better guy to go get for Notre Dame right now than Urban Meyer, a guy with a couple of championships, good pedigree. I don't think he's there next year in Jacksonville. Their division record and overall record is so poor, and I don't think Lawrence has taken a big enough step to justify bringing him back. He has had injuries. I'm not going to put it all on him, but he definitely didn't help himself with the way he's conducted himself. So then you look at this, and it's probably going to end up being Cincinnati left out, because if they clear and do well, then Ohio State's going to throw a bag at him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he comes off the board and goes to Ohio State again, that Notre Dame doesn't wait too long, and then all you got left is a huge bag to throw at Urban. But I'll hang up and let you guys figure that one out.
Yeah, I don't think there's – thank you, Lucas. Appreciate it. I don't think there's any way, as I said earlier, that Urban Meyer ends up at Notre Dame.
Nope.
Not after that video.
No, that would be not a good look. Not a good look after that video. And I mean, could you see Notre Dame hiring a coach that was at a bar hanging out with some younger woman when he's married?
Put his hand on her butt.
Yeah.
I'm all about forgiveness, but that job opened at least 1 year too early for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need a little more time in between incident and people forgetting.
Correct.
Or not caring, which is the other part.
There's just not enough time regardless in between those incidents. So,
True.
yeah, I think there's no way. And yeah, if Ryan Day happens to leave Ohio State, Luke Fickle is I mean, that's a no-brainer.
5 o'clock hour coming up. Also, we're out at 5:30 today. Tennessee basketball hosts Presbyterian College. The Blue Hose come to Knoxville. We'll be back with more 3HL on 104.5 The Zone.
What up, people? You know who it is. It's me. Ron Slay. Now, I got to tell you about getting a car. First and foremost, when you go to get a car, don't be sidetracked and everything by all the little illusions. They may have a little Ferris wheel out there. They may have a clown juggling. They may have popcorn or selling ice cream and stuff. Don't get distracted by that. Go straight in there. You know what you're looking for. A shiny new car. Low mileage. I'm telling you who got it. Music City Autoplex. Ain't no big parades or anything. They get straight down to it, man. Whatever you asking for, they can get the job done for you. And I'm telling you. Why? Because I did it. Not once, but twice, people. That's what I did. I went twice. Selection is huge. And that's a big deal right now because a lot of dealerships, they don't even have inventory. Lots of late models, low mileage cars, one of the biggest selections in Middle Tennessee, and they sell more than anyone. So mosey on down to 2430 Gallatin Pike North. When you go in there, let them know I sent you. Say, I'm in the building. Hey, go get your car, Music City Autoplex.
The transfer portal is heating up. We'll get you to some of those names from players that are from the state of Tennessee. But the Titans, yeah, they've made some moves. Good evening. I am Joe Honk. And mainly they've done what they've done all season, which is place players on the IR. Linebacker Monty Rice has been placed on the IR. Now, that's the only one for the day, but he is going on the IR. They have also released wide receiver Austin Mack from the practice squad. Now, when it comes to the state of Tennessee and the transfer portal, safety Brendan Harris, as well as cornerback Gabe Judy Lawley, and wide receiver Cam Johnson have all entered the transfer portal from Vanderbilt. You do have some other players from the state of Tennessee. Luke Akers, who went to Ravenwood, he's now a punter at UCLA. He's entered the transfer portal. Austin Henderson, who went to Innsworth, he's a tight end. He played at Minnesota. He apparently is not a fan of rowing the boat. He has entered the transfer portal as well. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, go visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. What up, Nashville?
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. 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 I'm in the building.
We got to get through it quick. We got 30 minutes.
Gotta go.
We got to get out of here early today.
Hey, gotta go.
The Blue Hose are in Knoxville.
We're going to get hosed down.
What is it, 25? Tennessee by 25?
25, yeah.
Vandy crushed last night.
Yes, they did.
Mississippi Valley State.
Dude, they started the second half on a 22-1 run.
I mean, might as well.
They were playing against me. Meaning they should have been.
You ever seen a 22-1 run come at you?
Yeah. I done gave it out. I ain't never received it. 22 run, that's a lot of points.
That's hard to get that thing stopped, man.
In a row. I mean, because I guarantee they tried to stop it and couldn't.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that probably sheesh. That's a lot of points.
Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. Vol Network coverage begins at 5:30, which means we got to do an hour and 30 minutes. An hour in 30 minutes.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute.
What is going on? So, what's the latest? Do we have Venables to Oklahoma yet? That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah. We probably will tonight. That's how it works when we get off our show.
Mm-hmm.
Right after we get off the air.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Brian Kelly, it happened last night. I looked at my phone when I got home. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's exactly what his team said, too, when they found out on social media.
Me?
I will meet with you tomorrow at 7 a.m. No, you won't, Coach. You ain't my coach anymore.
How do you teach? Man, I don't see. This is my problem. How do you teach loyalty and we all in together and all this, and then you can just up, boat, and leave? Like, I just don't understand it.
It's weird.
I don't understand it, man.
I mean, it's weird. Well, you know, the Brian Kelly stuff, too, was like there's a tradition of this to where he didn't even tell his staffers. Like the first time he left from Central Michigan or whatever.
Yeah.
Chippewa.
Yes.
Western Michigan's the Broncos.
Okay, yes. I get Western Michigan and Central Michigan's mascots.
I don't even know what Eastern Michigan is. Spartans? I don't know.
I think it's the Eagles.
No, that's Michigan State.
They're great.
Maybe it is Eagles. I don't know.
Anyway, so Central Michigan.
Yeah.
When he was there, like his top assistant that he had worked with for 18 years was with him at like Grand Valley State, all of that. Didn't know
Eagles
that he took the job. Eagles. There you go.
Well done, Hunt.
Thank you.
How about Lane Kiffin, who didn't tell his
know.
brother-in-law, who was on the staff at Tennessee, and he was out recruiting, that he took the USC job?
Not like
his brother-in-law.
Crazy. But see, part of this is I go back to it, at least nowadays, it's that early signing period, and you don't have time to do what you're supposed to do and do things the right way because you can't nowadays.
Well, news gets out, too.
News gets out, yeah.
Only time I
And
understand
news
is
gets
if
out
you're
before
fired.
it's like a completely done deal, like signed on the dotted line.
My favorite part of Coach Kelly's message to his team is just know that my love for you is limitless.
Like that might be the
Slade
dumbest
just
part of
shaking his
it.
head.
It's limitless, but that whole $15 million a year, that kind of takes my love away from you. So sorry, guess it's not limitless.
You went through a coaching change at Tennessee, different situation, but
What was your? See, I don't remember. So what was your situation?
So we lost my sophomore year after a really good season. Lost my sophomore year in the tournament, and Jerry Green said some things earlier in the year that rubbed. He wasn't. How you say this? He wasn't loved by all the fans. So he told them, if you don't like the way I'm coaching, then you can go to Walmart. You ain't gotta come here and watch the game. You go to Walmart and shop or do whatever else you're gonna do. So they ended up firing him.
I was going to say, so the administration probably didn't love that.
Yeah, he wrote his own check on that one. But when he was gone, I remember we got a call. We were in Panama City Beach, and they said, "Hey man, y'all got to get back up here." We're like, "What's going on?" It was like Coach Green is fired.
So you didn't hear about it from him?
No, we learned about it. Who did we learn about it from? I think Coach Grant or somebody called Vince. Then we all got the call. Then we all hit the road and we're back up there. But then it's like, so at that time they were preaching your loyalty to the university.
So who was talking to you? The AD?
I don't even remember. I think it was the AD.
Tall man?
I think it was the AD.
Yeah.
I think it was the AD, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, but it was, man, that was weird. That was weird.
So how much time went? So what was it like? I think this is interesting perspective. What was it like from a player perspective watching that coaching search happen?
So it happened so quick, and we didn't have no say in it. You know what I'm saying? That was another reason. I remember Vince. Vince was gone. Vince Yarbrough was about to leave. Like, he was going. The only problem was, at that time,
you had to sit out.
You had to sit out if you left. And Vince was getting ready to go into his senior year, but he was like, I'm going to the draft. I'm sitting there telling him, man, we can't stay then. Like, what? And then, wait a minute. Hold on. Like, y'all taking the nucleus and we got a mob coming back?
So Vince was the alpha out of all those guys?
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of big personalities in that
Because he
group.
would have been going into the junior year. So Tony Harris and Isaiah Victor, C.J. Black, Charles Hathaway, all of them were leaving. Vegas Davis. So coming back was Harris Walker, me, Terrence Woods, John Higgins, Marcus Hayslip, Vincent Yarbrough. Still loaded.
That's a group.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we like, dude, how you not going to talk to us about it? So it just kind of happened. And then the next day when we got back, they told us, AD met with us. The next day they called us and said, hey, man, we need you guys in the locker room. We want to introduce the coach to y'all. Like, huh? Introduce the coach? Ain't nobody told us nothing about it. And here comes Buzz Peterson. Buzz Peterson walks in before he go out there and talk to the media, talk to us. I tell y'all more. He said his spiel probably about 2-3 minutes. It was like, man, we'll talk more after I do the press conference. As soon as he walked out to do the press conference, we all started looking at each other like, hey, man, what y'all want to do? What y'all want to do? Like, it was – we were going to be gone, man. I kind of talked some guys in the stand, but Vince was going to the league. But we ended up talking Vince in the stand.
Yeah.
And this is what I hate about that, man. Talk Vince in the stand. Marcus Slip is ineligible at the beginning of the season. I tell my ACL midway through the season.
Yeah.
Vince is out there with 3 walk-ons starting.
Oh.
Like, I'm like, man,
you
I'm
never
should
have listened to y'all fools.
like, my bad, dog, man. This ain't the way it's supposed to go down, man. So that
How'd
was
y'all
wild.
do that year?
Oh, we did horrible. I was out. Slip went to the league. Vince went to the league. I mean, individually, did good, but it was middle of the road.
Yeah.
Middle of the road, yep. Middle of the road. It was
yeah,
crazy.
and then once all you guys left, Buzz he couldn't recruit to that level.
No.
Maybe too nice a guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know him like you did, but
preacher guy.
Oh, preachy?
Not preachy, but preacher, like different. He was a deacon, if that makes sense. He was brought in for discipline.
Oh, yeah.
Over us. because we were kind of
because you probably needed it.
Because Jerry Green,
we needed
I've
a
heard
particular
stories.
type.
Jerry Green famously was just a roll the ball on the floor guy.
And guess what? That got us going, boy. There's number 4 in the nation going with that right there. But
that was also a time though where you weren't gonna learn on Twitter that your coach was leaving or got fired or who your new coach was going to be. It's so different nowadays.
So I can only imagine
everything's immediate.
Yeah, and not having to sit out. Like that threat alone will keep you out of school. You know what I'm saying? So when they got rid of that, it's different. So
the transfer portal is about to be lit.
It's gonna be crazier than last year.
There's a disco ball in the transfer portal. They're going to be having a party up in that thing.
With all these big time coaches jumping and no aces. Oh, it's not no aces. It's oases. It's a real party.
I think those guys hate each other. I don't know about no aces.
Ooh, man,
they hate each other after being there together for 3 days.
Yeah. But do you blame a kid for jumping in there when coaches can jump ship to ship like this?
Nope.
No, I don't have an issue with it at all.
That ain't nothing.
Of course, I'm sitting here saying you better like the school you go to. You better like the place you're at.
But that's how I kind of feel.
You guys are different. You guys are on the other side of that from me.
I feel like that, though.
Yeah.
Boy, you got a book in you.
You got a book in you.
Oh, there's no doubt about all the things that happened at Tennessee while you were there with all those personalities, as I mentioned, but the coaching changed too, and tearing the ACL and coming back. And
when are you going to write that book?
Question.
Chris Lowe has to be a part of it too.
Man, without question.
Chris Lowe knows a whole lot of stuff that he doesn't put out there.
Listen, if anybody knows where the bodies are buried in our business, it's him.
It's Chris Lowe.
Underneath the needle.
Underneath Neyland? Yeah. Yes. All right. More of your phone calls when we come back. Again, no new coaching news as of right now, but we'll keep you updated. Titans news. Another player hit IR. We'll tell you about that when we return. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
All right, your home value is way up. Why not use it to make your home even nicer? New kitchen, new bathroom. Many of our listeners are doing this. I actually did this with Loan Pronto. It was awesome. And now I am doing a nice little addition in my backyard thanks to their zero-cost cash-out refi program. Call Loan Pronto right now. They're fast-tracking home refis for the year-end, and people are getting checks for 60, 70, even $100,000 or more. Fast, easy. It's your money you can use to add even more value to your home. Imagine 2022 with that all-new luxurious kitchen, or maybe the pool that you've dreamed about, or maybe the outdoor kitchen for next summer. Ready. Loan Pronto can help you get it done. See how easy it is to use the equity in your home and walk away with a monster check. They can even pay your closing costs, and you could skip your next 2 house payments. 615-499-5780, Loan Pronto's phone number. Or you can go visit them, loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans apply.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Chris on Facebook watching Zone TV. I used New Breaks mobile service today. Highly recommend. Thanks, at Brent Doherty.
Really? That's fun.
Listen, when you support the people that support us, you're supporting us.
Yes,
and
seriously.
we support you supporting us.
That is factual.
And
we appreciate you supporting us.
Thank you.
Supporting them.
Thank you.
Supports us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All of those things.
So thanks, Chris.
And we support that message.
Thanks.
Ron Slay all over the YouTube message board.
Yeah, I'm just the writing.
What's going on the YouTube message board? Anything? I saw Big Savagery in there earlier.
Yeah, he was in there earlier. A lot of newcomers. That's pretty much it. It was just a lot of people asking about the Titans. We answered that. A lot of people asking about the Vols. We answered that. So, pretty cool. Then, yeah, that's pretty much it. One guy was talking about Hendon Hooker, Marvin Peake. He said, "Hey, Slade, just look at Mitch Trubisky. Started in North Carolina for 1 year, and you see how awful he is in the NFL. Hooker needs to stay to get better at quarterback." But I was telling him, man, what you got to understand is if you're that high, projected to go that high,
yeah, none of that means anything.
You have to go. I don't care if you are terrible.
Right, but
go.
He's not like a second round type guy.
Right.
I don't believe.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
Right now.
Now we could be wrong. Like we ain't drafting nobody.
I don't think we are though.
Yeah, I don't think we're wrong. Yeah. We could be drafting somebody. Maybe they need to lean on us for the draft.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Lean on me.
You're not strong.
I'll be your friend, pal. We'll carry on.
Carry on.
Cousin Danny in the borough. Cousin Danny.
Help us carry on, Cousin Danny.
What in the world? What's up?
What up, fam? I'm going to carry on. You know it. Anyway.
Carry on, my wayward son. Sorry. Go ahead.
Man, I love you, fam. So we were talking about Josh Heupel, or Joshy Hypes, as I lovingly refer to him, because I'm all hyped up about the man and his recruiting prowess in a previous segment on the show. And I'm still elated with what I saw over Thanksgiving break from the man on Twitter. I absolutely loved everything that I saw with the players at his house. And this man's just sitting there in sweatpants and Tennessee orange Nike tennis shoes, just eating a plate of the good stuff with his boys watching football. And that's what it's all about. I don't know that Tennessee needs a big personality to go out there and recruit, because honestly, when Josh Heupel walks into your house, he looks like your uncle that's going to talk your ear off about 3 different types of Traegers he smoked his barbecue on last weekend. And I think that plays in Tennessee and where we're trying to recruit players. The man is down home. He's home style, family oriented, and I think it plays big into what Tennessee can offer these young men. And I'll finish on this point. When I look at the way this program was run under Pruitt, I did not see players having fun and being dedicated to what they were brought to Tennessee to do, and that was give their all for Tennessee every day playing football for the greatest football program on the planet.
Hey.
What I see now is not a dictator running around making people miserable. I say partner who is helping these young men utilize their skills and project themselves to the scout at the next level. And why wouldn't a young man like Hendon Hooker or Charles Tillman want to stay around and continue to be a part of that? Heupel is the future of this program, and he's grooming men to continue to help build the future of this program. Love the guy. Love y'all. Go Balls.
Hey, Cousin Dan.
That thing right there.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Kevin on Twitter, calling my shot. Nick Saban to Notre Dame, Dabo Swinney to Alabama.
Oh, my gosh. That's a heck of a shot right
I'm
there.
all for that. Chaos.
Man, that's a .00000000001.
Oh, you threw a 1 in there.
Chance, yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, it always is a little bit of chance, but it ain't likely.
Yeah, there's no way. Did you see how happy Nick Saban was
baby
after
Jesus.
they beat Auburn? Did you see the video of
him and
Miss
his wife?
Terry?
He know he got away with 1.
I freaking love Miss Terry.
He know he got away with 1.
She's amazing. But yeah.
He got away with 1 on that one.
But just, I mean,
Heck
just
yeah,
the
I'm
joy.
happy.
Just the joy of just seeing joy on that man's face.
Even
'cause
in the
he looks
interview.
miserable all the time.
It was in the interview, too.
Yeah,
they stole
Jamie
one,
did
Babs.
such a good job at
Babs,
that
they
interview.
stole
Yeah.
one, and he knows it. Like, boy, y'all, hair on your chin.
Should Harsin have gone for 2, Hunk?
Yes, Harsin should have went for 2.
Is Bobo gone?
Bobo is gone.
Bobo
Bobo
the
is gone. No,
clown.
Harsin
What's
should have
the
went for
talk
2.
about that? What's the talk about that with Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator, gone? Did
Remember,
him and
this is-
Harsin just like? I mean, we know the wide receiving core was just a debacle, but I mean, it's not like those were Harsin's or Bobo's recruits.
No, but there was conversation apparently that Bobo was literally just running the plays that Harsin wanted, which Auburn fans has heard that line before. And so there was thought that him
Rhett
and
Lashley,
Rhett
Gus
Lashley
Malzahn.
and Gus Malzahn was basically, yeah. And so people forget this is actually the second coach that Auburn has fired so far, because they also fired the wide receiver coach
receivers
after like
coach,
week 2.
Which was
but,
legit.
But yes, no, and yes, the Auburn should have went for 2 after they scored their first touchdown in overtime. They should have not given Alabama the opportunity to get back on the field.
So Mike Bobo will be at his 4th place in 5 years.
Yeah.
And hired by somebody else?
I mean, he will, yeah.
And if
What's
Bo
he gonna-
Nix
he's not gonna
comes
live under
back,
the bridge.
he'll have his 4th offensive coordinator in 4 years.
I know. Poor Bo. Like, no wonder he can't play on the road.
No wonder he's looking somewhere else.
Mike Bobo, 47 years old, from Augusta, Georgia. Played quarterback at Georgia. Started his coaching career at Georgia. Jacksonville State quarterbacks coach. Georgia quarterbacks coach. Georgia OC and quarterbacks coach. Colorado State head coach. South Carolina OC quarterbacks coach. South Carolina interim head coach and offensive coordinator. Auburn offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, and something next.
Just like that, huh?
Sports talk radio host. Mike Bobo.
It's the Bobo Show.
I like him.
I've never met him.
I've met him at multiple places. Actually worked a game when he was the head coach. Worked a game when he was the OC at South Carolina, and then worked the Auburn spring game. There you go. Seen
By the
him in
way,
3 different colors.
Speaking of South Carolina, I continue to say this. Props to Shane Beamer, man.
Yeah.
What a last half of the season. Clemson game aside, we won't talk about that one.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, in terms of what they were and what you thought they would be.
Overachieve.
And what they are. Where am I going?
Just
props to Beamer. And he's getting his name out there in the mix.
Yeah, he is. Got his name in the box.
He ain't going anywhere.
The Blue Hose are in Knoxville.
They're going to get ran up out of there.
That's a true thing. That's what their name
Cover
is.
and
Blue
the
Hose.
under. I mean, cover and the over. I took the cover.
Cover and the over. Was that like a little slide of a
and
parlay
over.
there?
Mini sleigh ride.
Take it what you want. Ken McMillan, my man.
IntelliTurf.
IntelliTurf. I almost know the number by heart.
What are we watching on television, by the way?
Con Air.
Oh, okay.
So good.
Slay was mad because they were showing the replay of the Eagles. Seahawks, the other bird. Seahawks Washington football team game from last night that he's pissed about.
Terrible.
Had to change it.
To Con Air.
Tennessee basketball. Me and you tomorrow.
Go Vols. Me and Babs tomorrow.
Y'all have fun. I'm going to Chattanooga. State
Yes.
championship game
Good
coming
luck
up.
to you.
See ya.
Later.
Is a presentation of the Vol Network, produced by Learfield.